Alright, here's an interesting one. Love sport bikes, love big horsepower sport bikes. There's something to be said about a small, nimble sport bike that you can actually get full throttle on and hold there for a little while. Here's KTM's version of that, meets European A2 licensing, which apparently it's got the best power to weight ratio in the class. It's pushing the limits of the A2 license. And so we're going to go out for a ride around Modena here in Italy, and then later to a racetrack. And I'm anxious to see how fun this is on the street and on the track. I'm going to bet on the tight track we're going to, this nimble little motorcycle is going to be a blast, and I can't wait to introduce it to some American riders. I think a lot of people are going to have some fun riding a smaller sport bike rather than being intimidated by a big one. Alright, just finished the street ride. RC 390 on the street. You think it's a small bike? There's a lot of fun to be had here. I saw 103 miles an hour on the freeway, and there was more to go. And even more impressively, I did a little roll-on, 70 miles an hour to 80 miles an hour. It took about 3 seconds flat, which means this thing is pretty quick for a sub 400cc bike. Now we get on the track, but final street thoughts. Pretty open riding position. Check out my legs here. And a little bit leaned over further than a CBR 300 or a Ninja. Really compliant suspension for the street. I wish the seat was a little bit more compliant though. A little bit hard on the butt. Nice big wide mirrors, except your arms are bisecting them. But otherwise, for a street bike, this is great. And now we get to ride it on the track. There's an old adage in motorcycling that it's more fun to ride a slow bike fast than a fast bike slow. And that's the case here today with the KTM RC 390. It's not a slow bike. If you want to compare it to a CBR 250 or 300 single-cylinder sporty bike, you'd be mistaken, because this thing's got way more power. Over 100 miles an hour we saw earlier today, and on the track on the front straight I'm creeping into 100 miles an hour. What I like about this bike compared to those other single-cylinder bikes is that this has a real race-inspired chassis. It's got quite a lot of leg room, so that means the pegs are mounted a bit low. So after about 2 laps, I was decking the pegs in every corner, but that's almost a way to prevent yourself from crashing, because you just lean it over until the pegs drag, and then you stop. The bi-brave front brakes on this RC 390, they didn't feel so great on the street, but surprisingly, here on the track, they work quite well. There's no evidence of any kind of fade, and you can grab a mittful and be pretty confident that you're going to be slowing down in time. It's got ABS, so that keeps you a little bit safe, especially if the track's sturdy, and you can switch it off if that's how you prefer it. So the big question about the RC 390, how much is it going to cost? Nobody's saying yet, but I'm expecting about $6,500, $6,600, which isn't too far away from the lesser powerful bikes in this class. So in the KTM, we've got a very sporty looking bike. This, you ride it by, and this does not look like a budget bike. So my experience here in Italy, I'm really thrilled to ride this bike, and I can't wait to get it on home circuit and feel what it's like against its rivals. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you got to make sure you navigate over to motorcycle.com, because we'll have the full story right there.